We are the Rogers. We have been members of CCOF, her for 8 years, myself for about 3 years. We met in a life group. We got married April 22nd of this year.
Shane and I met back in March of 2020. Our life group had been meeting and having a meal, and Shane joined that group. We'd been praying for him. One of his friends decided to invite him to the small group, and he came, and the very next week, the pandemic happened, and we stopped being able to meet in person. So Shane and I started going on walks together, talk about his experience in church, talk about my experience in church, talk about what we were hoping to gain out of being part of a life group.
Before we met in the life group, I was in a particularly dark time in my life, struggling with drug and alcohol addiction. I contacted her friend Kevin that was in her life group, and I was interested in what he had because I saw the way he treated people as a result of his relationship with Jesus. So I attended the life group with him one night. Things began to change.
I would say the impact that the church has had on me is really significant because I came from a place of mistrust in church and mistrust in Christians. So I was pretty skeptical when I arrived, but one particular person welcomed me with enthusiasm. We had a conversation that I barely remembered, and the next week when I showed up, she gave me a little gift based on our conversation and showed that she was actually paying attention to what I was saying, and I mattered being here, and it made me feel like I could trust someone. I feel like my life has completely changed. I went from being alone and being fearful to building so many friendships and having hope in the future.
What has impacted me about Sunday worship experiences and just the community of the church is I hear something during worship or during the service that directly coincides with something that's going on in my life. And it seems like these little, she calls them God winks. I was a part of Love 928, and that was a very formative experience, getting to step outside myself and kind of selflessly serve others in the community. I've also been the recipient from people in the church community. My transmission went out in my car, and I was still reeling from being a former drug and alcohol addict that I had no money saved up to get it repaired. The people from my life group all pulled together and bought me the car that I still drive today. I was astounded at the level of selflessness and sacrifice on their part.
I would really like to say thank you to all of the people who have made it possible for me to come into this church and experience life like I have, to have this place established and running where I can come on Sunday mornings and engage with other believers and learn about Jesus and help other people to follow Jesus as well. I just want to say thank you for participating in that, and if you're not already helping and in that momentum, join it. You don't know what's going to change in your life by getting connected in some kind of way.